Hey, what's up, y'all? And, well, we're back with another uh, preview and prediction video. And yeah, it's time to do another ACC team. So today we got the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Uh, Now, of course, we'll do a little recap of last year. So yes, last year you did go 9-3 in the regular season. And you did lose to Kansas State in your bowl game to finish at at 9-3. So, excuse me, 9-4. Yeah, 9-4. Anyway, so now so now this year, let's see. So NC State is considered to be wanted to be a contender, maybe a dark horse to win the to win the ACC, but and then maybe make the playoffs. But we'll see. But anyway, so so now let's talk about your offense first. Yes, so Brennan Armstrong is gone. He finally ran out of eligibility after 6 years. Yeah, and then last year he was terrible. I mean threw for what, like 1,700 and something yards. I mean about 7 yards per attempt, 11 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, like 61% completions. I mean, yeah, that's that's Peyton Thorne bad. But anyway, but of course he did also miss a few games with an injury. So otherwise he would have had he would have had more passing yards. But anyway, so also MJ Morris does return. I mean, he had like 700 and something yards last year. But I mean, he only completed like 55% of his passes. So I mean, yeah, he wasn't very good either. So I said, but he did start a couple of games with when Brennan Armstrong was out. So, but anyway, yeah. So MJ Morris is probably going to be the backup. So, but you do bring in Grayson McCall, from the transfer portal from Coastal Carolina. So, and then last year he had like well, yes, he had like 1,000 and something yards. Let's see, he had like about he was completing about what was it, about 63% of his passes. He was getting about 9 yards per attempt and like 10 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. But I mean, his season was cut short by injuries. He, so I mean, he only had about 1,600 yards. But anyway, but of course he did end up missing half the season with an injury. Yeah, he had a concussion in in one game. Now I don't know how a concussion causes you to miss the rest of the season, but he actually got hospitalized after a hit to the head. So, but I mean, I guess he's gonna be good to go for this year. Anyway, so last year you did throw for like 2,700 yards, completed about 70% of his passes. He had like 24 touchdowns to just two interceptions. So if he can be more like 2022, then that's obviously going to be a big improvement at the quarterback position. So uh, but anyway, so now about we go ahead and talk about let's see the rest of your offense, see running backs, wide receivers. Let's see, and actually Brennan Armstrong was your leading rusher. He had like 600 and something yards. So, and let's see, in their second leading receiver was Kevin Concepcion, and he had 300 and something rush yards. And then he also played wide receiver. He played both running back and wide receiver. So, and then let's see, you do also bring back Kendrick Raphael at running back, but get Delbert Mims and Michael Allen transferred. But anyway, but you do bring in Jordan Waters from the transfer portal from from Duke, and he had 800 and something rushing yards. So that's more than anyone else on the team. I mean it's more than Concepcion and Raphael combined. So, but anyway, I mean, he was getting 5.4 yards per carry, which is good. So I mean, he's already going to be the best running back on the team. And now let's take a look at wide receivers. Yeah, I already mentioned Kevin Concepcion. He had he had 800 and something receiving yards, 10 touchdowns. Yeah, he was the guy who could who did it all on the offense. I mean, he even threw a few passes as well on some trick plays. So, but anyway, so yeah, he can do it all. So, but anyway, but beyond that, uh, not much production at the wide receiver tight end position. Uh, yeah, I don't think anyone else really even had even even went over 300 yards, I don't think. And yeah. So anyway, we do bring back Keon, Lasan, Dakari Collins, and Bradley Rosner. And you do also bring in from the transfer portal. You do get Wesley Grimes from Wake Forest, and he had 300 something yards, which again is more than any other wide receiver, with the exception of Concepcion and yeah, and also a tight end, Justin Jolly, who is more like a big wide receiver than a tight end, from UConn, and he was UConn's leading receiver. So, and then also you do bring in a 4-star transfer, Noah Rogers from Ohio State. Even though he didn't play last year because he was a freshman, but still, if he was good enough to play at Ohio State, I mean, he's good enough to play at NC State. So, anyways, last year your offense scored. You did score 26 points per game and about 350 yards per game. I do expect the offense to be much improved with the addition of Grayson McCall at quarterback and having better weapons at skill positions. So, but anyway, I mean, if you can be, I mean, you even if you can be, 5 points better, 50 yards per game better, I still think that that's a huge improvement over what you had last year. So, yeah, so I do think the offense takes a step forward. But now, yeah, I don't think I can say the same for your defense, because you do lose your leading tackler, the Dick Butkus Award winner for best linebacker, Chuck Bednarik Award for best defensive player, Peyton Wilson. He had 138 total tackles, 6 sacks, 17.5 tackles for a loss, and 3 interceptions. So I mean, obviously you're not replacing a guy like Peyton Wilson. So I'm just an elite inside linebacker. So I mean, it's kind of like a Roquan Smith, or at least, well, I'm not saying that he's as good as Roquan Smith, but I mean, he has, that kind of an impact on a football team. So, but anyway, so yeah, so really you only lose a couple of starters. You also lose a defensive end, Savion Johnson, and a cornerback, Robert Kennedy. So, yeah, and you do also lose a defensive tackle, C.J. Clark. So, but anyway, and yeah, and Kennedy and and Clark were also more like co-starters. But yeah, so anyway, about who you have coming back. Well, I already mentioned the loss of Peyton Wilson, but you do return your other two linebackers, Jalen Scott and Caden Fordham. And then on the defensive line, yes, you do bring back Davin Van. You do bring back Brandon Cleveland. Anyway, and then you did bring in Chaz Wallace, defensive tackle from Colorado. So, and then let's see, and then taking a look at your secondary. Let's see, yeah, and guess Davin Van did have 5.5 sacks. And then you do bring back a defensive end, Red Hibbler, who had 6.5 sacks. So, and then talking about your secondary, you do bring back cornerbacks, Aiden White and Battle, yeah, Shaheem Battle, yeah. And let's see, safeties, Sean Brown and Devin Boykin. So, but anyway, I guess, and okay. So, anyways, how about we just go ahead and, oh yeah, and you did bring in a bunch of defensive backs from the portal. You brought in like 6 defensive backs, like 3 safeties and 3 corners. But anyway, so how about we so how about we go ahead and get into the schedule. Anyway, so wait, first, yeah, let's talk about your defensive stats. Yes, so you did give up about 21 yards per game, and 21 points per game and 330 yards per game. But I do think that your defense will take a step back with the loss of Peyton Wilson. So I think that your offense takes a step forward, but your defense takes a step back. So, but anyways, how about we go ahead and take a look at your schedule now. So, anyway, so we start out with week 1. You do play Western Carolina. Yeah, it's an easy win. You'll destroy them, and then after that, you've got a big early test against Tennessee, and I already did my Tennessee preview with TriStar. So, but anyway, and yeah, so I did pick you to lose to Tennessee. So, yeah, I just think that they're just a better team than you. I mean, I do have Nico Iamaliava taking over a quarterback as a 5-star. So, uh, yeah, yeah, and he's supposed to be really good. So, yes, I do have you losing to Tennessee. And then let's see. As we got Louisiana Tech, and and yeah, you should just just totally demolish them. Same thing as Western Carolina. And then after that, you you do have you do play at Clemson. So anyway, and yeah, I do have this as a loss. I mean, you haven't beaten Clemson in Clemson since 2002, and I knew I I I know that you beat them last year, uh, but that was at home though, and you also haven't beat, and also the last time you beat Clemson back to back was in 2002 or 2003. So yeah, I just think that yes, even though Dabo won't use the transfer portal, uh, I still think that Clemson will still beat you. I think they're just going to be the better team. So, but anyway, so then after that, you do play Northern Illinois, and again, yeah, another cupcake game. You, you should curb stomp them. And then up next after that, you do play staying home to play Wake Forest. And yeah, I mean, Wake Forest, yeah, they had their really good year in was it 2021 when they made the ACC championship. But I mean, they've really been in decline since then. I mean, 4-8 last year. So yeah, I think that you take care of business against Wake Forest. And then next, you do play Syracuse, and yeah, I'll give you the win here. Syracuse is bringing in a new they do have a new head coach, so and plus you get them at home. I think this is a win for you. Next you do play at Cal. Yes, so you have to fly all the way across the country to play Cal. And even though this is going to be tough, travel, time zone change, but anyway, so I think that Cal is going to get someone with that long travel, but yeah, I don't think they think it'll be you. I'll go ahead and give you a win against Cal, and then after that, what's next? You get your first bye week, and then after that, you've got Stanford, and then again, yes, so now back to back California teams. You went to Cal. Now Stanford comes to you, and I mean, Stanford is just absolutely horrible. So yeah, 3-9 last year. I mean, 3-9 the year before too, I think. I mean, I'm, I mean, when was the last time Stanford was good? I mean, is you have to go back to to the uh, the 2000 teens, but anyway, yes, so you're beating Stanford, and then next you do play Duke, uh, and yeah, of course Duke, lost their coach. Mike Elko went to A&M. So, so now Manny Diaz will be in his first year at Duke. And then you also lost Riley Leonard to the transfer portal. He went to Notre Dame. So yes, and of course you also got Jordan Waters from Duke. So yeah, I'm going to give you the win here. And then you have your second bye week. You come out of that, you finish up with back-to-back road games, and then now you're at Georgia Tech on a Thursday night. And yeah, you know how it is. I always pick the home team in these Thursday or Friday night ACC games. So I don't make the rules. So anyway, so yeah, you're losing to Georgia Tech. And then after that you do play at North Carolina, and you've had their number lately. You've beaten them 3 years in a row. I mean, they don't have Drake May. So yeah, I think you do get the win here. So all right, so there you go. That puts you at 9-3. Same record as last year, and 6-2 in the ACC. So, but anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Give me your record prediction for NC State. And thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.